Hello there, good evening to you all, and a very warm welcome to this latest edition of the Burnley Career Mode. Now our episode tonight features two league games, and they're both away from Turf Moor, and they are at Upton Park. First up, well, we play West Ham, and then following that, Hull City, and then we'll do, as I said, the next video, it'll be the FA Cup final as a standalone video, as it's a big cup final. So we're into episode 20 we're into edition 20 of this particular video, and then obviously edition 21 of the series will be the FA Cup final. Edition 22 rather will be the last two league games plus the presenting of the Premier League trophy, and then finally 24 20 I think it's 23, episode 23 will be the European Cup final, and then that will be that for the season. So we've got 4 more episodes to bring you until the end of the season. We're now into May, and let's get straight to the action where we play West Ham in the Premier League. And there'll be a few, and I can tell you there'll be a few changes in the squad now. This will not be the team that possibly starts, not the 11 anyway, but there'll be 1 or 2 changes from that team you're looking at now. So as I say, we've got West Ham coming up now, followed by Hull. Then we'll finish the video, finish with the outro as well, and then I'll be straight in streaming, doing the FA Cup final as a standalone video. Okay, let's get straight to the action and to Upton Park, where we take on West Ham in our first of the 2 games on episode 20 of this Mark II Burnley Career Mode. And a warm welcome to Upton Park, where Burnley, now having clinched the league championship, now can really play with a bit of freedom now for their last 4 games. I'm sure they'll want to hit the 100-point mark. They've got 90, and number 12 points would give them in total 102 for the season, and they won't be thinking about that now. 2 away games here today at Upton Park, and then next week against Hull will take them nicely into an FA Cup final. West Ham start with Enner Valencia and Zarate up front. No one are playing behind the striker. Sprigo is preferred to Adrian in goal. Andy Carroll is amongst the bench, is amongst the substitutes. Tompkins and Reid are the 2 centre backs. Burnley, who have brought nearly 2,500 to 3,000 with them. So much change side. Boaks and Barnes get the nod up front. Matt Taylor starts on the left hand side. George Boyd will go into the middle. Certain big players not being risked with the cup final 2 weeks away. You can understand why some of the bigger names are not being risked now that the league title is now assured. It just gives the Corets a real opportunity to see how they go on. Not saying that they're weakening the time, but it just gives an opportunity for those who haven't really been too far involved. But it's good to see him back though, David Jones, who's had a very productive season in that midfield area. Over 10 goals this season. There's the man in charge today, Michael Oliver. It's Burnley in the dark strip, going from left to right. West Ham doing right to left in this first half, as forever blowing bubbles rings around this famous old Upton Park ground. Here's Jones, Boyd, Trippier, Boyd, here's Ward. Now Ward. It's his shot in. Easy one there for the goalkeeper. All in yellow this afternoon. Upton Park, one of football's great venues, of course. Here's Sam Vokes through, and he's going through on the goalkeeper now. 1-0. Oh, that was so simple. And with the league title already bagged, as we well know, Burnley started this game with plenty of freedom and expressing that freedom in the best possible way. And what a season Sam Vokes has had. When he's coming this side, he's taking his chances. There's no two ways about that. Simple finishing of the highest quality. Goal number 26 in the league this season. Well, the strikers will have a massive act to follow. Every win is crucial now because it's more and more prize money, and it's more and more into the budget for next season, where we can pick up some much better players and really make this squad a lot stronger. There's Long to Shelaba. Now Vokes trying his luck from long distance, but Kieran Trippier and Harry Kane in that last game, of course, that semi-final with Barcelona, where they scored 2 worldies. It's booked Burnley's passport to the European Cup final at the end of the month against AC Milan, with a third battle between those two sides, incidentally. Burnley have won 1 and Milan have won 1, and this is what you quite call the mother of all deciders. And that's all in the future now. It's just playing out the league season now. They're trying to play with a bit of style as Ward comes charging forward, gets his shot in, and it's blocked away through a corner. Well, Burnley starting this game with a lot of freedom. That deflected there off number 2 there, Winston Reid, for a Claret's corner. Although they are playing in an all-dark strip today. Taylor with a corner. Shackle with a header, number 2. Free header, and the skipper gets his goal. Wonderful corner, beautifully flighted, and Shackle got up between 2 Hammers defenders and nodded it right into that far corner. That was a magnificent goal. So 2-0. And already West Ham with it all to do then, with 23 minutes gone in this first half. As West Ham come charging forward, looking to respond, and that was not clearly a pass back there. It was Tom Eaton, referee allowing it to go on. Taylor. Oh, what a wonderful run by Matt Taylor, going back to his old stomping ground today actually. Matt Taylor, that's a wonderful cross, and the header out to Baden Jones that time. It's the Clarets fans who are making all the noise, the optimism of the Hammers fans, and fanatical fans have been silenced by those 2 quick-fire goals from Burnley. Trippier again, not for the first time, making a very good challenge, a good intervention, but West Ham here trying to fight back in the way they know how. They have a chance here. What can the Hammers produce here? Oh, good a save there by Tom Eaton. Well, when it's been needed, Tom Eaton, it's been whenever he's been called upon at any time during the season, he's done really well. Boyd is onside here. Approaching the last 5 minutes of the first half. Here's Jones to Taylor. Back inside of Oaks again. Here's Barnes. Barnes with a shot. Not far away from being goal number 3. My goodness, Burnley have played some remarkable football this afternoon. Because the pressure's off now, they've clinched the title. They can play the champagne football. And they don't need to be too gung-ho about it like they were in previous games when they were making mathematically sure of the title. Started the day on 90 points. A win would take them to 93. With 3 games remaining, they've got an away match at the KC Stadium next week. That's our second game in this video, and then it's the cup final. As Matt Taylor goes forward, looking for one against his former club, to no avail. Well, it's been plain sailing more often than not in this first half for Burnley, as the statistics there demonstrate. 1 shot for West Ham, 7 to Burnley, and they've got 2 goals from it. Well, with the League Championship already wrapped up, it's just a case of just rotating the squad, saving the big name players for the bigger occasions. And Shackle now, who's already got 1 goal to his name, nearly had 2 goals to his name. As the half-time whistle, I think, has gone, has it? No, it hasn't. Shackle there, hit it through. Not a bad shot really for a centre-back. Usually see centre-backs hit them into the top tier of the stand. Jason Shackle was an inch or 2 out, maybe more. Referee Oliver brings the first half to a close, and it's a cruise at the moment for the Clarets, no doubt about that. 2 goals up, on supreme form. Vokes with the first goal, added to by the captain there, Jason Shackle, and it's a half-time score here at Upton Park, and West Ham 0, Burnley 2. And a warm welcome back to Upton Park, where Burnley lead, of course, by 2 goals to 0, rather comfortably, I have to say. Let's have a check on the other half-time scores up and down the country. Chelsea are in second place, looking to cement that at the end of the season. Well, they're going the right way about it. 1 up in the London derby against Crystal Palace. At the KC Stadium, Burnley's next opponents, Hull, are doing themselves a good bit of favour at the moment. They're beating Arsenal there by 1 goal to 0. Leicester 1, Newcastle 1 is the score at the King Power Stadium. At Anfield, an entertaining first half it looks like there. Liverpool leading by 2 goals to 1 against Queen's Park Rangers. At White Hart Lane, up the road from here, it's Spurs 0, Manchester City 1, and down in South Wales, in Swansea, at the Liberty Stadium, it's Swansea City 1, Stoke City 1. Here it's 2-0, as you well know. West Ham, 2 goals down, get us underway. Here's Winston Reid, but he's tossed it straight to Sam Vokes, who's sort of pickpocketed him, and has made it 3. So easy. He just took the ball from Winston Reid. He was very careless in the extreme. He got 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, and Sprigo had no chance as soon as Vokes struck the shot. And Burnley have made the best possible start to the second half. Sam Vokes has got number 27 of the season. And unless West Ham produce a miracle comeback and win 4-3, the Clarets are going to end up on 93 points at the end of the afternoon. We played 48 minutes of this game, 2 minutes of the second half, and it's 3-0, and Vokes has got 2 of them. Here's a chance now, and a goal for West Ham. Well, they got 1 back, and it's Hena Valencia who's got it. Terrific finish. Well, that has given Upton Park a little bit of a lift. Terrific shot there from Hena Valencia. Not really a chance that Tom Heaton could have done in that goal. And that goal met by seal of approval from the West Ham bench. It's his 8th for the season, Hena Valencia, and it's 3-1 now to Burnley. We've had 2 goals there in somewhat like 3 and a bit minutes. And it's West Ham 1, Burnley 3. Here's Sharama. Vokes to Barnes. Barnes trying his luck. Sprigo holding well. That's certainly giving West Ham a little bit of a lift in terms of respectability in the scoreline is concerned. And then they've run out of pitch on that particular occasion. And the goal scorer Valencia being replaced there by Big Andy Carroll, former Liverpool and Newcastle striker. And another change which we'll confirm in just a second as Burnley come striding forward. It's Ravel Morrison on for Kevin Nolan. So a bit of youth there replacing experience. And onside here is Barnes, but so is Sprigo. Definitely lightning quick off his line there. Alagon. West Ham 1, Burnley 3. Here's Carroll. Still going the big centre forward here. Andy Carroll now for West Ham. Yes! We've got a game on. West Ham coming back into it, and Andy Carroll, the substitute, who replaced the other scorer, Enner Valencia, has pulled it back to 3-2. Well, what a superb end of season game this is turning out to be. Nothing really riding on it for both teams today. And what a turnaround in the second half. No pressure, both teams attacking. And it's a great game for everybody now. Great game for the neutral. But the Clarets really committing real complacency here, because they've let 2 goals slip now in the second half. Only Andy Carroll's 4th for the season, which is a scant return for a very good potential striker. George Boyd has picked up a side injury, but I don't think it's too serious. Wanted a fair bet he'll be on the bench for the cup final, I think. So they'll have 2 of their key midfielders back. They've obviously got one in David Jones back. There's talk of Scott Arfield being fit for the cup final as well. 2 weeks today. You know, I've joked in about these sport league games is to give other players a chance and save the big name players. The energy they'll need for the 2 big cup finals coming up this month. Offside against Ashley Barnes. Just 19 minutes or so to go now. There's just no need at all to worry now. Corner kick. Well, Carroll has a 1 shot at target, and he's got 1 goal from it. And Mark Noble will take the West Ham corner. A hammer through and through. There's the corner. Not cleared. Oh, what an opportunity. Taylor on his return to his former stomping ground. 33 years old now. Played for Portsmouth, played for Bolton, amongst other clubs in the past. Plenty of Premier League experience. Carroll has pickpocketed Trippier again. It's not like Trippier to be pickpocketed that easily, but the cross was a disappointment really from Carroll's point of view. He's not really renowned for his crossing ability. It's more of his heading ability that gave him the big reputation when he started out up at Newcastle. Shamabar chases with Noble, but Noble comes away with the ball with just over 10 minutes to play. And a ball in there. Oh, and a chance there, but Keaton was out there, and it could have been 3-all. And Heaton's throw was not a good one, and it still might drop there. Oh, dear me. Well, it all happened there in the space of, what, 30 seconds. There's the shot coming in, and it was just wide. West Ham making a change. Chiatti coming off. Now who's coming on in his place? We'll have to get that confirmed. We did see a caption. It came up for like half a second and then came back up again. It was so quick. It was, now you see it, now you don't. Sacco is the man coming on. I think it was Ravel Morrison who put the effort wide. Long. And the Krager stay down. Some folks now. He's got Barnes waiting in the middle. Barnes, yes! That settles it. Ashley Barnes gets his goal. And it's 4-2 to the Clarets. With just less than 4 minutes to go. In what's been a really thrilling second half here in the sunshine at Upton Park. Got his shot in. Sprigo was beaten. And in the end, even though West Ham have fought back well in the second half, Burnley's nous and know-how has just been a little bit too much, and Barnes bags number 12 for the season. They're certainly predators in chief, these Burnley strikers, I tell you. There's no question about it. I'll tell you what, if the whole game next weekend is anything as exciting, we're in for one heck of a treat. Ball not back in there. Oof! Trippier going in there. In the end, he did leave it to his goalkeeper in the end. Folks trying to get Barnes in behind again. Well, we've been royally entertained this afternoon. 6-goal thriller. Burnley going to win it by 4-2. It's looking more than likely. West Ham have played their part, certainly in the second half. They've looked a lot more menacing when they've attacked. Here's Barnes. Hopes can't get on the end of it, but he won't be too perturbed as the referee breaks into what was a thrilling game of football here at Upton Park. The fans certainly got their money's worth of entertainment value. Burnley win this 6-goal thriller by 4-2 in what was a tremendous game. 2 for Boakes, 1 for Shackle, 1 for Barnes, and West Ham beaten by 4-2 this afternoon. And a very warm welcome to the KC Stadium. Burnley now 93 points. 3 games to go now, the regular Premier League season. Well, this is the game leading into the cup final next week. And Burnley again field a much changed 11, although there's a couple of changes. George Boyd picked up an injury and will not play against his former club. In fact, he won't play for the rest of the season. But there's a few familiar names amongst the substitutes, which I'll bring to you in a moment. But we're going to have a look at that Hull City side first in just a moment or two. Let's have a look at it. Patov is the goalkeeper for them. McGregor's on the bench. Shelovic and Hernandez are the 2 centre forwards. Livermore, Ramirez and Quinn are the 3 midfielders. They play El Mohammadi and Robertson as the 2 wing backs, but they can bomb forward. And they'll play 3 centre backs. Hull. Burnley, as I say, the one change there from last week is obviously not George Boyd, but Ross Lewis comes in now to make surely what will be one of his final appearances for Burnley before he leaves on a 3 transfer during the summer. The likes of Cartley, Lampard are back and amongst the substitutes, and with the cup final a week away, their return to fitness is a big boost. So too is having this man back, David Jones. He's been out for an injury. There's Jason Shackle. Scored against West Ham last week. Could have had 2 in fact there. He's Cartley. I don't think he'll be risked for the game today. And we're all set to go then in the rain at KC Stadium as Michael Over, the man in charge, gets us away. We've seen to have Michael Over and not as the referee now these days. Pulling the amber and black, going from right to left. Burnley in that traditional Carlton blue, and left to right. Ready Hull on the attack straight away. Here's Quid. Good atmosphere inside the... Whoa! Well, it was Yelovich at the back post. Wonderful cross in there from Stephen Quinn, and Nikic Yelovich was so close there to give in. Hold the lead, the former Everton striker. Long to Shackle. Taylor. Wallace. Oh, sweet skills there by Ross Wallace. Easy one there for their goalkeeper. It's Burnley's promotion away match of the league this season. Of course, they've got a Wembley visit next weekend in the FA Cup final. It'll be their 3rd Wembley visit this season. They won the League Cup by 2-0, and of course won that epic semi-final with Norwich. When it looked for so long that Norwich were going to sneak home by 1-0, and they had 2 late goals in the last half an hour of that game. Saw Burnley through, but only just because Norwich had played their part tremendously well. Here's Taylor. 12 minutes gone, and he finds Chalobah. You bet your pound to Burnley that the midfield will be much changed for next week's game here as Taylor goes crashing forward, but he plays it back to Shackle, who gets a throw. Boyce, Taylor, throw to Burnley. Matt Taylor again to take the throw. Jones, now Trippier. Of course, the final with Spurs next weekend is a repeat of the 1962 final. The Spurs won by 3-1. Bliss. Well held by the goalkeeper. Did very, very well. 20 minutes gone then at the KC Stadium. In the pouring rain here. Typical East Yorkshire weather. Still no goals. Shackle did well. So too did Livermore. See, Bruce does like the two wing backs to push forward whenever they can. El Mohammadi and Robertson. Award. Barnes. Good running here by Barnes. Might get into space for the shot. And deflects behind for a corner. It's there off Paul McShane. And a corner kick it is. Good defending by the Hull City captain. That's Taylor to take the corner. Showbar was in there, but it's nodded away. It'll be a Burnley throw. Ward to take. Chris Hull played in the FA Cup final last season. Led 2-0 against Arsenal, but lost in extra time to the Gunners by 3-2. Ramsey was getting the winner that day, but Hull looked as if they were within the first 10 or 12 minutes looked as if they were going to run riot. In the end, they were outclassed and outgunned in the extra time by Arsene Wenger's men. Long did very, very well. Folks, and now Barnes. Barnes has got away here. It's Ashley Barnes. Good save. Well, Patov narrowing his angle very well at the near post. You don't expect a goalkeeper of his calibre to get beat at the near post. It was a very good save. Taylor to swing another corner in. Folks, oh, off the top of the bar. That's the nearest we've come to a goal. Off the top of the crossbar. Yelovich has also gone close for Hull earlier on in the first half. And that's the best opportunity we've had for a Burnley goal. Here's Yelovich. Couldn't find Hernandez that time. Barnes competing pretty well. Excellent challenge though by Trippier. No foul. We're heading towards stoppage time at the end of the first half. 4 added minutes at the end. What's been a pretty good first half, even for a 0-0. It's been a very good watch. Jones. Trippier. Here's Barnes. Oh, off the back of a 2-0 victory over Arsenal last week here. Showed their intent. Jones lines it up. Half time. No goals, but plenty of action. Yelovich has come close for Hull in that first half, and then towards the end of the first half, Sam Vokes hit the crossbar, but there's been no breakthrough here at the KC Stadium, but we've got a half-time score of Hull City 0, Burnley 0. And a warm welcome back to the KC Stadium, where it's goalless here. Let's have a look what's been happening in some of the other games. Arsenal at the Emirates against Swansea, good game there, 1-1. And up there at Villa Park in Birmingham, it's Aston Villa 1, West Ham 2. West Ham, of course, played their part against the Clarice when they were beaten 4-2 there last week at Stamford Bridge. Big game there. Chelsea 1, Liverpool 0. Crystal Palace beating Manchester United, as you can see, by a goal to 0. City and QPR 0-0 at the Etihad. Same scoreline at the up in the northeast at St James's Park between Newcastle and West Brom 0-0. And at half time at the Britannia, Stoke 0, Spurs 1. And that's obviously Burnley's FA Cup final opponents next Saturday. No changes from either side, but we still await the first goal here. Well, 3 half-time scores in the Premier League that are goalless. The 2 games, of course, at the Etihad and at St James's Park. It's a misplaced pass from Trippier. He's not played too many bad passes like that all season. I think Wallace has been able to get into the game as much as he would have liked. Here's Jelavic. Wicket to Burnley, in fact, for a foul by Jelavic. Didn't go down too well with some of the locals there. Here's Trippier. Shalabar. Good to see these French players get a good run in the side. Shalabar, that was a good tackle there. Nothing wrong with that at all. And here come Hull now, breaking forward. It was 3 against 3 for a moment there, but Shackle got back and did okay. So too did Kevin Long, his centre-back partner. But I think you can bet a pound to a penny Mike Duff will be back for the cup final. Changes for Hull, and it's up front. Nikita Jelavic, who was actually the best chance of a goal for them this afternoon. Well, he's been replaced there by Sagbone there, number 20. Now that is a bit of a surprise, really, to be quite honest. Steve Bruce rather feels the need that Sagbone might give himself a goal option or 2, but I felt that Jelavic was Hull's likely route to a goal this afternoon. But he's gone off now. He's had 60 odd minutes, nearly 60 odd minutes to prove it, but so far he didn't make the grade according to Steve Bruce. Palace 2, Manchester United 1 is the latest score. Here's Barnes. Are we going to see a breakthrough here? Yes! 61 minutes gone, and Ashley Barnes has got the opening goal for Burnley. And what a crackerjack it was too. Cut inside, got the shot in, and the goalkeeper beaten a mile. Ashley Barnes with a superb finish. And Burnley in the lead after 62 minutes. And it's the lucky 13 for Ashley Barnes this season in the league. That's goals, that is. Burnley 1 up. But it wasn't even, up until then, it was actually quite an even encounter. But that decision by Bruce to take off Jelavic, I think, has backfired a little bit. No foul. Hernandez has possession. Good advantage play, but Hull couldn't take control of that advantage. And here's Boakes. Oh, can Hull make a find of this in the second half? No, not this time. Here's Jones. A bit too strong there for Shalabar to get on the end of. And the yellow card coming out for that earlier challenge. It was by Matt Taylor. So the referee memorised the run, or they memorised the foul, and picked up the right perpetrator. Well, they've got about 18 minutes to save themselves here. Robertson was stripped by Trippier. The referee booking Trippier. A good little run there by Robertson. And what he has done is given Hull a very good position here for a shooting opportunity for a free kick. In fact, it was Gaston Ramirez, not Robertson. My apologies there. And what an opportunity now for Hull to try and get themselves Little floaty cross in there. Oh, it was loose for a moment or two in that penalty area. Heaton got on it and was grateful to do so, but given away by David Jones. Oh, what a good save. Tom Heaton there was superb. El Mohammadi with the shot. And a flying save, a flying leap. And that's his final contribution as Atan Ben Arthur comes on. The remaining 10 minutes or so that remain. Burnley, I think they're going to stick with the same 11 that started now, right to the end, and not risk any big name players with next week in mind in the cup final. Never going to be a pretty game, but well, Trippier doesn't want to lose the cup final berth now. This is the save from El Mohammadi. Oh, he had to stretch a bit there, did Tom Heaton, didn't he? Good save. Ramirez with the corner then for Hull, the former Southampton man. Floated into that danger zone. Netted only as far as Quinn. Quinn trying to play the ball in. Oh, really having a good go in here. Good go here at the end of the second half. Trippier beaten here. Danger here, and Hull could have easily been in there for the equaliser. They've really had a good go here, the Tigers, but it might not be to any avail because Vokes is onside. The breakout could work in Burnley's favour. Here's Barnes, number 2, and Barnes has them both. It's Crew on Hull who really put it together in the second part of this second half, but with them committing bodies forward, it was inevitable that Burnley would break on the counter, and so it has proved. Vokes has broken out, and in the end, Barnes, although it looked a simple finish on the screen, it was harder than what it looked. And Barnes gets goal number 14 of the season, bags it in fact, and it's his 2 goals that have won Burnley the points now, and they move with this victory Hull this afternoon to 96 points. They're 4 away from that magical century. No Premier League, no team have reached the magical 100-point mark in Premier League history yet. Burnley could well be the first team to do it. Here's Wallace. Here's Ross Wallace. Yes! 3-0. And Burnley have shown their class when it's been needed and when it's mattered most. Although one must confess, this scoreline is a very, very harsh score and a harsh reflection on the Hull City performance today, which in the main has been quite good. I think Steve Bruce will curse the fact that he took Nikitschenovic off at possibly the wrong time, and that's what's probably been the deciding factor in this game. So 2 for Barnes, 1 for Wallace. His first goal in the league this season. And in fact, he's a good bar present for the fans. Well, what a good bar present it is. 3-0 then to the Clarets. And there it is, final whistle. It looked a routine victory to Burnley, but it was anything but. Hull threw everything at him. But 2 goals from Barnes and 1 at the end from Wallace has sealed the deal for the Clarets, and they go into the cup final on the back of a 3-0 scoreline against Hull this afternoon. Full time, Hull 0, Burnley 3. Well, that's a good way to end episode 20 of this Burnley career mode. 2 wins then for Burnley now in that video. And we now go into the next video, the cup final, with real confidence. And it'll be a much changed team for the cup final, I suspect, next weekend than the teams that have taken to the field before that. So let's just have a look at the league table before we finish this particular video, because it needs to be seen. That's the FA Cup. We'll come to that in the next video. We'll touch on that more really next video. So we are now 16 points still ahead of Chelsea with 2 games to go. The league title, of course, already assured, as you well know. We're 4 points away from that magic 3-figure mark. The highest points tally we can have is 102. Now, 100 points from the league champions has never been done before in Premier League history. So Burnley potentially 2 games away from making that history. Although for the last periods against Hull City, it didn't look like happening. But Hull will not be perturbed by that defeat. And in fact, the next 2 games are against teams now who've got nothing really to play for in terms of league games, have nothing to play for in terms of fighting relegation or anything like that. They're 2 teams that are going to be in mid-table. Stoke in 14th place. They're the next opponents in the league at Turf Moor in the final home match of the season, and then Aston Villa are in 12th position with 45 points. At the moment, it's Southampton look safe as well. They've got themselves well and truly out of trouble now. So too a QPR, and I can't see any of them 2 going down. I think it's going to be. I think Leicester City are gone, no doubt about it. But it could be 3 out of 4 really, to be quite honest. I mean, Leicester could win 2, Sunderland could drop 2 points. It's a tight squeeze. West Ham, I said it was carefree for them, but it isn't. Far from it, in fact, because they're now 2 points behind Sunderland, and Sunderland here, they're the team that have got to watch over their shoulders now. Dick Advocaat will be looking over his shoulders for sure. Well, it's all up for grabs now. Crystal Palace are still fighting there. They're 3 points behind Sunderland. It could still be possibly done for Leicester, but they need to get 6 points, and then obviously results to go their way. As regards back to the top end, Champions League, Burnley already there, of course, they're league champions. Chelsea can safely say, but it's any 2 from 4 teams, in fact, below Burnley and Chelsea that could still qualify for the Champions League. You've got Arsenal in 3rd place with 65 points. Manchester City 4th in that 4th spot on 64 points. United are in the UEFA Europa League spot in 5th place, also with the same amount of points, but they have a far inferior goal difference. City have plus 24. United, on the other hand, have plus 18. And Liverpool still have an outside chance there. They're only an extra 3 points back. And then obviously Spurs, who could well... Everton have still got 2 games in hand over the rest of them, so they could still pip Spurs to 7th place if they take charge of their extra 2 games in hand. Of course, they've been in Europa League action for the last sort of few months as well, so they could certainly sneak up into 7th place. They might even sneak up on Liverpool if they take full advantage. But I've got my doubts about that, but they've had a good season, Everton, by the looks of it as well. Swansea have done well again, another good season for them, 50 points. Highest Premier League tally, and Hull have done well as well. So, that's the way the table is, with 2 games to go in the regular season. That's where we leave episode 20, and we'll pick up episode 21. We develop the whole video to next week's FA Cup final. I very much hope you can join me for that video. Until then, take care, and I'll see you very, very soon. Goodbye now.